Okay, I'm going to try and give you some tips on how to install the phone system that you're going to get. This is, you just pull it out of the box in the plastic, or somewhere in the box. You're going to have the screws that we'll just take off, and then you just go on the board or on the wall, wherever you're going to mount the system. Pretty simple. Just take it out of the plastic. I could speed this up a little bit if I just edit it, but I'm going to just go through the whole thing here. Honestly, people, that's what I pay you for. So, take one of the screws, stick it on the board wherever you're going to mount this system. Wherever you're going to mount it, on the wall, right, wherever, however you're going to do it. Take the screw, center it, and then the screw goes on the back, hooks on like that. So however you're going to mount it on the wall, that's where the screw goes. And then there are a couple more on the bottom. After you get it centered and mounted, they're going to go right here on the bottom. So just screw it on the wall, stick it up there like that, and then you're good to go. Then you're going to get one of these punch down block and an amphenol connector. And you want to take and screw this on to the wall. You'll probably send you a bracket too. And you can just screw this on, and then once this is on, it just pops on here like this. Like so. Piece of cake. I'm going to take it off to show you some more. But it's just going to connect right to the system, right like this. Just going to go right in there and connect it up. Then you're going to get a power supply in a separate box. And you want to mount this with the other two screws that are left. It just goes on. Screw here and a screw at the bottom. Same similar fashion. And then what you do is you take this end, goes into the power end right here. Pink. The other end goes into your outlet. You'll want to take and ground the system too before you actually power it up. Just take it and connect it to a water pipe and ground it like that there too. Give you a nice grounding wire. We've done it without it, but you know it's recommended that you do it. So then once you get that hooked up, I'm going to show you here. These are the stations, the top 8 connections are the stations for the phones, which in the system that you're getting, you're going to go through 100, 101, 102, and 103. And then the lines are going to be connected. And I'll label this on some wires. But line 1, line 2, line 3, and line 4, you can have up to 4 lines on the system that you're getting. And one of the ways that you'll check for the dial tone is if you've got a butt set, or it's just going to be labeled on the wall. It should just have the phone numbers on the wall and the corresponding punch down block that should be already in the closet of the office where you're putting the phone system. But what you're going to do is going to take, pause this for a second, but you get some of these wires and I'll show you exactly what we're doing here. Okay, here we go. We got you some set up here a little bit so you can see what's going on. Whenever you get your system, I'll have some post-it notes on the wires corresponding to where they should go. For instance, line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. I'll just have it connected up so you know which ones and where they go. And then also for the extension, just as an example, 100 for the receptionist. So they're going to be tied up to the correct lines, and so then what you're going to do is you're just going to need to find in your office, in the closet, normally where they have where the phone stuff is, where the telephone lines come into the building. They're usually going to be marked on one of these, another punch down block. And then you just take and figure out which one is which one is your line 1, line 2, line 3, and then you're going to get a pair, 2 lines, 2 wires, go on each side of the line. So they're already on either side of line 1. either side of line 1. They're already connected. And then what you want to do is just connect where you've got the dial tone on each side of the lines here. You may need a punch down tool to do it, but you can also use your imagination, use your fingers. I got a punch down tool, and then you just take and punch it down, and then just cut this. This cuts the wire as well as connects it to the block. You see the wire snap off there. So there you got your connection. But you can also just kind of use a screwdriver and squeeze it down on there. If you don't want to spend the money on a punch down tool, it'll also make the connection. And then the same thing for your line 100. In your office, you're going to have your phone jacks. Let's just say this is in the bottom of the wall. This has got the cover off. You don't need to take the cover off, but probably on the jack somewhere, it's going to have a number associated with it. Just for example, I put number 10 on this one, and then in the same closet, maybe perhaps not on the same punch down block, but on a different one, you're going to see 10, 11, 12, 100, 101, 102, whatever, so that you'll know that this jack goes to this connection right here. And if you want to take and go out to Home Depot and get a this is a toner. You can ask the electric guy that for a toner and probe if you want to spend the money on that. And then you just connect it to the jack. You don't have to take the cover off. But what the toner does, it sends a tone to the punch down block. So then you take your probe and you take along until you hear exactly where that connection is, and that's when you know you've got the right jack for the right phone. So then you just take and do the same thing with this wire, and you connect it up with, take a screwdriver and connect it, or if you've got a punch down tool, do that too. And in the same fashion, one and one on the other, just connect it up. So now we've got that connection to this jack. And if I regress a little bit, you're going to take this blue cover off of the Amphenol cable to plug it into the system, like so. That's already on the wall. It's already mounted on the wall. Okay, now you've got a live extension. And again, these are mounted on the wall, but just for the sake of demonstration here. Now we've got a live jack, and then what we're going to do, you take your phone, plug it in, take it on over to your desk. You'll have your labels that you can, we'll print it out for you if you want to adjust them too. We give you the site to adjust the labels, but the labels will already be sent to you. And you just take this off, pluck it, and plug that in. Pretty straightforward. You take your base cord, guess I got to do it all the way, right? And on the back of the phone, you've got line and handset. The line goes to the jack on the wall, and then your phone will fire up. High operator, simple as that. And then your base cord, one side's longer than the other, and the longer side goes here on the handset, just so you can feed it in through here. Keep the cord nice and tidy, just like so. And then the other end goes into the handset, like that. And in the back, this goes in whichever setting you want to put it on. If you want it more upright, put it on the bottom, and then you're in business. And it'll light up because we'll have programmed it for you. Line 1, line 2, line 3, whichever extension, voicemail. Probably put a greeting on there for you. And then you're in business. So you're live and ready to go. That's really as simple as it gets whenever it comes to installing the phone system. but you have some basic tools. This connection here, you'll need a screwdriver, flathead. If you take your flathead screwer and just kind of stick it down on there, that'll take care of that. But if you want to go and get a punch down tool, it's probably 25 bucks. 200 probes, probably 40 bucks. If you're having trouble with finding the line, where your dial tone is, to where you connect your line wire over there, you might need to call the phone company, ask them where it is. They might be able to help you. Or if you want to take and invest some money in a bot set, this will actually give you the dial tone on the line. It'll just go, it's just a phone. It just connects right into the wires to give you the indication where the line dial tone is. So, and with that, that's the installation of your phone system. If you're uncomfortable with that, and you have some questions, give us a call. But if it's totally foreign to you and you don't want to even get into it, you may want to reconsider getting the system. But if you're comfortable with what I've shown you, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy. If you want, we can kind of give you some help on site if you need that too. But there's your installation. Take care. David Bridge, Virtual Communications.